Good afternoon, everyone. Andy Jacob here with the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. We have a very interesting show today. I've been waiting to get Miss Brittany Cole on the show for a number of weeks, and we finally got her booked in. You know, when you talk about starting a business, everybody has questions. As a matter of fact, the name of our series, as you know, is called the DotCom Magazine Entrepreneur Spotlight Series. And we have a lot of younger entrepreneurs, a lot of people that want to have their startup, they want to start it right, they want to make sure that they get their startup going in the right direction. We have a lot of people that are even thinking about, for example, opening up a service business, like a digital marketing service, for example. And the question always comes up, who should I turn to help me start my business? If I have a service and I'm not really sure how to get it started, who should I turn to? And guess who I have on the show? The person that you should be turning to. She is the founder and CEO of the Brittany Michele Cole Coaching Company. And she's a coach, and she helps companies start their online service with her 13-step formula. I'm so excited to have Brittany on the show today. Brittany, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, this is a big wow because we have so many people that want to know how they start a business, what's the process. Before we go into it, let's pull the lens back to 30,000 feet, Brittany, and tell everybody about your coaching practice.
Yeah, absolutely. So basically the coaching practice that I have, or the coaching business that I have, really starts from ground zero. Before you've even done anything to start your business, you come to me and I help you with the very first step. So that literally starts with helping you decide what the business name is going to be, registering that business with your Secretary of State, and then all the way through creating your website, your social channels, your emails, literally everything that you need to start the business, start running the business, and start getting clients.
I love it, Brittany. And this is really so poignant right now because so many people have been at home through the pandemic. So many people are saying to themselves, you know, I want to start a business, but I don't really know how to do it. I wish there was someone out there that could coach me from A to Z to get me started. And that's why we brought you on the show, because there's so many entrepreneurs that are saying to themselves, wow, I've got this idea. Maybe I have an expertise, let's say, in building websites or marketing or something like that. And I want to start my own agency. And they don't really know where to turn. They go online, they read some articles, but then they say to themselves, you know, I really need an expert to take me from A to Z. And Brittany, you're that expert that can help these companies get from A to Z very, very quickly. I want to thank you so much for doing this for entrepreneurs. Brittany, what types of companies reach out to you for your assistance as part of your coaching practice, and they want to learn about your 13-step formula?
Yeah, so it's really anyone who is wanting to start a service-based business. So anything from digital marketing companies to virtual assistants, even freelancers will reach out to me and I'll help you set up your Upwork profile, Fiverr profile, anything like that. So anything that is online that you can do from anywhere and is a service-based business, that's who I love to work with.
I love that so much. So you do everything and help everybody from someone that actually wants to start, let's say, an agency, to somebody perhaps that has heard about this gig economy and they're saying to themselves, you know, I want to get in on this. You know, I want to be a virtual entrepreneur. I want to be a digital nomad, if you will, but I don't really know how to sort of start it. So what I think I'm hearing here is they reach out to you, Brittany, and you can help them get into this economy, start making money through their entrepreneurial spirit. It's very, very fascinating. Brittany, when we think about the types of clients that reach out to you at the Brittany Michele Cole coaching practice, what's the sticking point? What's the pain point that these entrepreneurs have as to why they really can't get it going themselves?
Yeah, the biggest pain point is that there is just so much information out there. It is so hard to just get started. Anyone who wants to start a business, they have that idea in their head. They know what they want to do. They know what they're good at. They know what service they can provide, but they just have very hard time figuring out how to do it, how to create that business, and then also how to do it right, because there are laws that you have to follow. There are guidelines that have to be put in place to do things right. So just making sure that your business is set up and it doesn't take a full year to do. That's the other great thing about working with me, is that I help people start their business in just 8 weeks. So it's a 13-step process that we cover in 8 weeks. And then when we're done with that 8 weeks, your business is done, is ready to start getting clients. So it's just getting things done fast and getting them done right is the biggest point that people come to me for.
I love it. And this is such a huge problem that you're solving at the coaching practice. There's so many people that have these ideas in their head. They're a little hesitant to take the first step. Maybe they're a little afraid and they're not really sure about entrepreneurship. Maybe there's a hesitancy because they just have a little bit of a difficult time taking that very first step. And from what I'm hearing, and the thing that I like about what you're doing, Brittany, is the first step really is just setting up a call with you or reaching out to you through your website. And then you can help engage them. You could help encourage them and coach them along in your 8-week process. And it's very systematic. So in other words, you can take any entrepreneur that wants to get into this marketing service or a gig economy or become a digital nomad, and through your system, put them on the path to exactly where they want to be in as little as 8 weeks. I think that's really brilliant, Brittany, and it makes all the sense in the world. You know, when we talk about entrepreneurship, one thing comes to mind, Brittany, is for the entrepreneurs that are just getting started, a lot of them are worried. Like they're worried, can I do this? Or is this for me? Or is this going to be for me? Or I've never done something like this before in my life and I'm a little freaked out about it. So tell us how you deal with those types of entrepreneurs with that type of mindset, Brittany.
Yeah, so I actually have experience doing that too. I used to coach people for specifically for starting their digital marketing agency, people who are in a program for that. And that is a fear that people have. If you've never been an entrepreneur before, if you've never relied solely on yourself to bring in an income instead of having a paycheck, it can be a little bit scary for sure. And so I really just draw from my own experience. I've actually started 5 businesses myself. 2 of them didn't end up panning out, but from that experience, I've learned what works and what doesn't work. And that's where I've discovered kind of that pattern and that formula of exactly how to start a business from A to Z. So I draw from my own experience. I tell people about my own struggles and my own experience overcoming those struggles, kind of how I felt. And there's a little bit of mindset work in that too. So it's kind of an overarching experience working with me. It's not just me reading from a textbook or walking you through a course. I really become your partner. And that is what I call these programs too. It's a business launch partnership. So I become your partner. It's like being in a group project in college where I'm that partner that does all the work and you get all the credit. So yeah, working from my own experience, I relate to people, and it really has proven to be very effective.
I love it, Brittany. You've done such a great job. You've got so many satisfied clients. It's really interesting. And one thing that I really love about your personal journey that really resonates with me is the fact that all entrepreneurs have skinned their knees a little bit. In other words, we all have had graduation events, like my friend Peter Sage calls them. So you've had 5 different businesses. You've been successful in the majority of them, but a couple of them maybe didn't go exactly the way you wanted them to go. And that's normal. When you're a serial entrepreneur and you're starting businesses, not all of them are uber successful. Not all of them get to go where you want them to ultimately go. And I think that's the beautiful thing about your business is you're able to bring so much expertise and so much understanding of the entrepreneurial journey to your clients that it makes all the sense in the world for them to reach out to you and talk about the 13-step formula. So let's get into that. Not that you have to give all the 13 steps out right now, Brittany, because I know it's a lot, but let's just give a few of the steps to help these people understand exactly what they're going to get when they reach out to you, Brittany.
Sure, exactly. So like I said earlier, the very first thing that we cover is literally just creating your business. So if you don't even have a name for your business in mind, you just have that idea in your head of the service you're going to provide, I'll help you create that name and I'll help you register that with the Secretary of State. So that is step number one, is just creating your business. And then from there, we move through steps like finding funding for your business, doing things like creating your website, your social media channels, and then at the very end, working on how to find clients. So I'll help my clients put together emails that they're going to send, put together a sales script for their sales calls. And it's very customizable too. So I do have this formula that's very cut and dry, but then my clients also tell me, they come to me in these meetings that we have, and they tell me other things that they need, because everyone's business is different. So that's what we kind of work through too. It's really anything that you need to start your business and start running it from A to Z. The last step is literally launching your business with ads too that I help create to get those clients.
I love it, Brittany. It's really great. It's really a smart approach to specialize and help the people that really want to start something, but maybe they just need some coaching to get it going. And there's so many people out there like that haven't done it before perhaps and don't feel confident, but they need someone to coach them along. I always believe, and my wife always believes as well, that when you start something out, it's a great idea to have a coach or a trainer or someone to teach you. For example, if you're an adult and you've never skied before, to go out on a slope and try and get down that slope by yourself, you're just going to tumble all the way down and get some broken bones and some bruises and really have a tough time and really never learn how to do it properly. But what happens with you, Brittany, is these entrepreneurs, they get a coach. They get to learn how to do it properly from the beginning. And you and I both know that when you plant a tree in the ground straight and you water it, the plant or the tree will grow up straight and flower beautifully and not fall over in the wind. And that's what you help these entrepreneurs do, is you help them start their business right from the beginning. So as they grow, they've got the great steps early on that will help them push through to the great ending that they're wishing for in their entrepreneurial journey. Brittany, when we think about entrepreneurs, speaking to such an expert like yourself, many entrepreneurs have a tough time when they get a pothole, when they hit a pothole in the road, when they have a difficult time, when things start moving against them a little bit. So what type of advice do you give to your clients who say to you, hey, Brittany, you're my coach and I'm having a tough time with this thing. What do I do? And how do I have the right mindset to get through this little pothole in the road? Yeah.
That's so true. Every entrepreneur is going to come across many obstacles in their business, and I myself have and continue to have those obstacles. So one thing I do, again, is draw on my own experience. I tell people how I've gotten past, if they're having a similar issue to what I've had in the past, I will tell them about that and I'll tell them how I got through it. And then I just remind them, every entrepreneur has these moments and it's natural and normal. And the way that you continue to grow your business and make sure that it's successful is to just get through them. Not every day is going to be perfect. Not every day is going to be rainbows and sunshine. It's hard work being an entrepreneur. And just keeping that mindset and making sure that you're working diligently to overcome those obstacles is the way to success. And that's what I tell all my clients.
I love it, Brittany. And what makes all the sense in the world is we always talk about mentors. We always talk about mentorship, how important that is for the entrepreneurial journey. And everyone talks about surrounding yourself with talented people, especially finding a mentor or mentors that can help you. And what I'm hearing, Brittany, based on your experience, not only are you able to help coach your clients with the 13-step formula to start their online service, but because of your background and experience, you can also serve as a mentor to your clients. So let's talk about that. And how do you feel about that mentorship role?
Yeah, I love it. I really like to become your friend. So like I said before, group project, I'm that friend in your group project. And I like to cheer you on too. So outside of those 13 steps to starting your business, once that is completed, I continue to work with my clients as they continue to run their businesses. So I offer ongoing coaching programs once that initial launch has been completed. And my clients are happy to get on those monthly calls with me, happy to share their success. That's what I love to hear too, is about those successes, those wins, how many clients that they continue to sign. And so, yeah, we grow our businesses together. I'm still growing my business. My clients are still growing their businesses. And it's really a group effort.
I love it. It makes all the sense in the world. And, it's one thing to have a guide or buy a book or get a PDF white paper about the steps necessary to do something, but it's an entirely different ballgame to actually do it and then do it with someone that's going to make sure that you do it properly and do it correctly from A to Z, which is exactly what Brittany offers with her offering. So it's really, really interesting. And, through the pandemic, Brittany, there's been a lot of people that have started saying to themselves, I've got an idea, I've got a passion, I've got something that I'm good at, that I want to do, that I think I could be really good at. And I think I can make a powerful impact in the lives of my clients. And I would imagine that you probably feel like I do, that entrepreneurialism is really about to take off. It's about to become this huge thing with so many people, with all this pent up excitement and energy and vision, that we're going to see more and more entrepreneurs coming on the landscape very, very shortly. Is that the way you're seeing it right now?
Oh, yes. And I am such an advocate for entrepreneurialism. I have 3 sisters, and I'm constantly telling them that they need to get into starting their own business. They're all very talented in their own ways. I just convinced my husband to start his own business, and he was one of my first clients. Actually, I helped him through all 13 steps, and he's on his way to success with that. And really, just like anyone I talk to, I am so enthusiastic about entrepreneurship, running your own business, relying on yourself for your income and your daily schedule. I could go on and on and on. We could do another 30-minute interview just about how much I love entrepreneurship. But yes, I see that coming onto the landscape. People, especially after the pandemic, working from home, and then being told that they have to come back into the office, realizing that they really don't want to do that. They would rather stay working from home, working their own hours, spending more time with their family. There are just so many benefits to running your own business that people, I think, are starting to realize. And for sure, we're going to see a huge boom, I think, in entrepreneurialism over the next couple of years.
I love it. And I could not agree more. And it's so exciting because the entrepreneurs are really the engine behind the entire economy. And again, you're solving a big problem because there's so many people, whether they want to even open a digital marketing service or a digital agency or simply become part of like the gig economy, those people need someone to help them get there. So, Brittany, when we think about it, we think about your success, and you've got a lot of successes in your past experience, opening 5 companies and learning from both your successes and the things that cause you some challenges as well. We always wonder about what somebody like you, what is your why? Why do you wake up in the morning? Because you have this great energy, you've got this great positive attitude. So many people lean on you to help them with their businesses and their companies, that you always provide not only the great mentorship, which is the knowledge, but also, like you said, you become their friend and you give them the motivation as well. So when you wake up in the morning, what is Brittany Cole's why?
I really just love the self-fulfillment that I get from being reliant on myself and being able to call my own shots. I spent a number of years working in the corporate world and not being able to do that. And it felt very suffocating and very not real to me. Like I just couldn't do it any longer. So the biggest thing that drives me every day is just being able to do that for myself, being able to start any business that I want. And whether it fails or succeeds, continue to do that. And I love helping other people do that too, which is why I started this business. I love the fact that I was able to help my husband start his own business so that we were both self-employed. For our young daughter, we set a great example for her. I hope that one day she starts her own business doing whatever it is that she ends up loving. It's just really something that I'm very, very passionate about.
I love it so much. It makes all the sense in the world. And that's comes across in what you do with all of your clients. So Brittany, when we think about entrepreneurship and the entrepreneurial journey, one thing that comes to mind is there's a lot of people that have been raised with either the can't do or the can do attitude. And those people that have the can do attitude, they'll find becoming an entrepreneur easier than those people that perhaps have in their mind that they can't do something. So when you come across this can't do attitude and you speak to somebody, how do you get them to become a person who believes they can't do something to a person that they can do something?
Sure. So that really just comes back to mindset. So the first thing that I would tell someone and have told people before is that if you can do this professionally for another company, you can do it for yourself. If you wake up every day, go into an office and do something for a boss, for a company, you can do that same thing for yourself. And so it's really just opening their mind to the possibilities, helping them realize that entrepreneurship is something that anyone can do and that there are so many possibilities to what you can do as an entrepreneur as well. I remember back in college, even, I didn't fully understand what entrepreneurship meant. I grew up in a small town. I probably was one of those people that grew up with the can't mindset. I didn't see a lot of people around me that were starting their own businesses. Almost everyone that I knew, their parents, they just worked a regular job. So I didn't see a lot of that until I went to college and realized that entrepreneurship didn't just mean going door to door selling books. That's what I thought it was when I was growing up. So just showing those examples, opening their mind and just helping them learn more about what entrepreneurship really is usually helps people understand like, hey, I can actually do this, and anyone really can.
That makes all the sense in the world. And I love it so much, Brittany. You're really an inspiration, and you really have your thumb on sort of the pulse of what's happening out there with entrepreneurism, the fact that it's going to blow up in a big way. There's going to be more and more people getting into it, whether they want to start their own digital marketing agency, become a digital nomad, have a side gig, if you will, and you're there to help them all with your 13-step formula. When we think about people and we think about companies, a lot of people, Brittany, get very, very excited about their technology. But you and I both know that what really separates the companies that make it from the companies that don't make it are the companies that focus and concentrate on their clients. If they don't put their clients first in every aspect of what they do, they're going to have a long road to haul. In other words, entrepreneurs and startup founders were so excited sometimes about the technology and the platform that sometimes they forget about the single most important asset that they have, which is their customer. So I'm hoping you could talk a little bit about that and why your 13-step formula puts the customer first for your clients.
Yes, I definitely can talk about that. And I wholeheartedly agree. A lot of times you'll see out there people selling the secret sauce to success. And that's a lot to do with the technology. They'll teach you how to use Facebook ads. They'll teach you how to use the technology that you need to do a certain service, but they really don't focus a lot on how to relate to your clients, how to sell to them effectively, how to create those relationships. And that's when it's so important. I talk a lot about this on my TikTok channel too, about a recent trend that I have seen where a lot of people will post videos bashing past clients that they've had. And that is something that they're doing in hopes of drawing a viral video, and other people in their industry may be able to relate to that. They're like, oh my God, that's a terrible client. But you have to remember a big thing about social media channels. The only purpose for your business social media channel is to promote your business and to talk to your clients. So that's a huge tip that I give people, is that whenever you're posting to your social media channel, make sure you're doing it in relation to your clients. You're talking to your clients, you're giving them what they want, and forming those relationships with your clients is the most important part.
That makes all the sense in the world. It's a way to be great versus good. We always read the book that, good is the enemy of great, and we all believe that. And one of the great things that you have to do is provide a great service for your customers. And you're doing that with your coaching, of course, and you're teaching your clients how to create magnificent value for their clients, because at the end of the day, if you don't have screaming fans who are your clients talking about your business in a positive, powerful way, you're not going to have a business. So I wanted to take a minute, Brittany, just to thank you so much for what you're doing in the entrepreneur community. It's really remarkable. You've really hit the sort of the pulse of what's happening. You're a forward thinker. You're a zeitgeist. You're a shapeshifter, because you're understanding that the entire entrepreneurial sort of wave is going toward this gig economy, this digital nomad economy, this personal digital marketing service economy, where these people are now understanding from being at home for so long through the pandemic, especially, that they can do it. All they need is someone like you to help coach them along, give them a tried and true process that's simplified, that will get them from point A to Z and help them build that strong tree to begin with, so that when the winds come, the tree doesn't get knocked over. It just sort of bends with the wind a little bit, but keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And you've been able to do that with so many clients already. And I expect so many more great things from you in the future, Brittany. I wanted to thank you so much for coming on the Entrepreneur Spotlight series today. I know you only cut out a certain amount of time, but this has been a fascinating discussion. And thank you so much for what you're doing at the Brittany Michele coaching business. It is outstanding.
Thank you so much. I had so much fun talking to you today, and I hope I get to continue doing this for a really long time.